I'm James Hansel. I'm the tech lead for what we're calling the System Needs Assessment Platform, or SNAP. SNAP provides a consolidated view of asset risk on a common framework, and that is what's presented for ingestion into Copperleaf. The currently modeled risks are reliability, capacity, wildfire, financial, and public safety, but the numbers shown here are not representative of our actual data. These risks are calibrated to enterprise level risk assessments. So for example, for all these different asset types for a particular one, distribution overhead conductor, we have an enterprise level risk assessment of about $3 billion in this example. And this ensures that the individual asset risks all sum up to that total amount of wildfire risk for that particular asset to make sure that the risks getting sent over to Copperleaf on the individual assets are aligned with our enterprise expectations. Coordinating across different types of risks enables a shift, as Wen said, from conventional to integrated planning. You might have a particular asset that is high on the reliability risk scale, but if a second asset is actually lower in reliability, but higher across the total amount of different types of risk, then that latter asset is going to be the one that you're more interested in resolving or reducing the risk on first. For this, risk is calculated across 3 domains, currently just electric, but we have the substations here, and these little triangles are each substations. The lines here are our transmission lines, and then these bounding polygons are the boundaries of all of our distribution circuits. And we can drill down from a territory-wide risk view down to an individual asset risk. So we can switch over here to an asset view. I don't know if the numbers are big enough here, but you can see that we have a total of, in the platform right now, 4.5 million assets. And this is just a big old listing of all those assets from highest total risk to the lowest. And having this kind of zoom from an enterprise level dashboard has executive summary down to individual assets so that the numbers that our executives are looking at for a risk perspective match with the sum of all the individual asset level risks that our individual planners and engineers are looking at. Let's drill down further. I can zoom into, say, the San Jose division where I'm from, throw on some filters, and see that the total map will reduce down from about 4.5 million assets to the 200,000 that are within our San Jose division. And let's say I'm a reliability engineer, so I might want to filter over to start with to look at some the higher reliability risk circuits. Zooming in, the colors are all kind of based on the total amount of risk. And so we could pick a particular circuit here and switch over to the detailed assets on that circuit. You can see now that there's just about 1,000 total assets that we're looking at for a particular circuit. Drilling in a little bit further, we can see the individual, what we call dynamic protection zones, that the level that we do our investment planning at right now, which is along this circuit. It's divided by reclosers or interrupters. And you can see the kind of total amount of risk on a combined level in each of those zones. And similarly, you can flip back over to the summary of risk within the circuit. And we can see this particular circuit's an example where we have multiple types of risk. Blue here would be the reliability risk, and yellow being what we call capacity risk. It's in the future load forecasts. If we see more load on the circuit than our devices are able to handle, there could be a chance for outage or a chance for unserved load, and that's where that number is coming from. But this is just to say that there are multiple different types of need on this circuit. And if we wanted to drill down kind of even further, we can zoom into the kind of individual conductors that we are showing here. And again, the closer to red colors are higher risk, the closer to yellow colors are lower risk. And finally, we can dig into kind of an individual piece of conductor. And here we want to ensure that the kind of granular asset risks are matching our engineers' expectations. so that what gets sent over to Copperleaf is actually representative of what our engineers think the risk is on our system. And finally, you can zoom into this one last little piece of conductor and see a quick summary of the underlying data that is driving these asset risk models. This is the very kind of granular view for a particular engineer, but you can zoom in from this level or zoom out from this level all the way back up to that enterprise level risk to make sure that the totals are making sense for both the kind of individual engineers as well as the top-down system level perspective. And the hope here is that we're able to facilitate a shift away from kind of a bunch of offline spreadsheets used for planning to an automated kind of standardized and centralized platform for assessing risk.